Guys, once again, and welcome to Gauge Reviews and this review of Altered Carbon, a Netflix anime that is 3D. Okay, guys, we have to start this review right away, although I have to wait for you to gather. But yeah, I'm excited about this because this is something that is very, you can say, experimental in the visual style. You may be familiar with, the whole franchise of it because there's a live action TV show that started a few years ago. Hi, Milkshake! And, and now, as far as I understood, after the second season ended, this appeared after a few weeks, and basically the same thing. We're also awesome, almost the same, but in anime form. So, what is Altered Carbon? It's basically a story that's very familiar to something like Ghost in the Shell. It's basically like it's so close in the way of a style. It's like something took Ghost in the Shell and tried to take that whole setting and rewrite its own thing and characters and story. And in the 21st century, I mean, that is the synopsis basically. People no longer have, you know, people no longer have. I didn't start that well. People refer to their bodies as sleeves. Basically, yeah. And they have something in their necks that is called a stack. And the stack is basically like a very modern and super futuristic diskette that all the consciousness, the human consciousness is basically collected in that stack. And if the body dies, the sleeve, someone can take that stack and just make you a new body and put it in that body, and you're ready to go. Or anybody, for that matter. It's just a transfer that is going on, basically. Now, how is that, feasible or anything like that? I'm not going to go into all of this because I'm going to be here all night. And we're back. Yes, Ivy. But how is this as animation? Well, first I have to just say a few words about the live action TV show. I watched the live action first episode TV show when it came out, I think 2 years ago. I just love the main actor. The main actor is the guy that plays that soldier that was in love with Enchantress in Suicide Squad, and also he's the guy that plays the new RoboCop. I really love that guy. I always forget his name, but I really love that guy. He has an amazing body in Altered Carbon, the TV show, by the way. Hi, Glyton. But the first episode of the live action was horrendous. For me, it was terrible. It was boring. I couldn't understand anything almost about what was happening. You were just thrown into the situation. You were explained very, quickly what's going on, and you're just like made to care artificially about the characters without seeing them before, without establishing any kind of a connection with them. It was very forced and artificial. I just hated the crap out of that show. I mean, the first episode, I could not watch it. I couldn't even finish it. I mean, I was just, it was one of the worst things for me that I ever had to sit through. So for me, it was very hard to watch, like extremely hard. I couldn't believe how hard it was. So yeah, this is like cyberpunk, something like that. Like I said, Ghost in the Shell. It's so similar. If you like Ghost in the Shell, this is actually the only reason that I have some kind of an interest in this, because I really like Ghost in the Shell. But Ghost in the Shell is a story how it presented human mind consciousness. It had like a higher level of conversation about the human soul that is not just about it's not like well, it could, it could be digitalized and just put into another body. It was not about that. It had more, bigger and greater topics that were raised there. And here it's just like, oh no, everything could be digitalized and put into this little stack. So for me, I don't really like the idea. I mean, I'm not fond of it. I just can't buy into it, so to speak, because I just know better. I just don't have this mindset that is so like material that I would ever buy anything like this in terms of a concept. And like I said, Ghost in the Shell is another way of making setting and a movie about something that is from the future and still have this great conversation about consciousness and the soul and all of those things that really the deepness of it is very great, but it also depends on your level of perception, deepness, knowledge, and yeah, your ability to comprehend such ideas, concepts, to understand what the movie wants to say. I mean, it is up to you how much you're going to get from something like Ghost in the Shell in terms of story and meaning. And here it's much less than this, so I would say the biggest difference is that here we don't have any conversation, at least not in the first edition of this animation, about the human mind or consciousness. It's actually the opposite. It's very like brought down to the level of, well, if you kill the stack, if you destroy this little very futuristic diskette, you are going to die. It's like real death, and all the ideology that is around that, it just doesn't matter. It's just something that you use to manipulate others, so to speak. So it's kind of the opposite when I think about Ghost in the Shell. And hi to Irko, of course. Hi, Irko. Yeah, I'm just reading your comments, but I'm trying to, not lose my train of thought because it's very interesting to compare the two things. Like, believe me, I don't remember anything else that's, so similar as Ghost in the Shell like this is. Okay, so that was about not the reality but live action show. And how is this? Well, this is a short animated movie, is in the style of anime, but the big difference is here visually is that it actually is a 3D animated movie. So the animation is extremely high quality. How you see here, you can see also the trailer from Netflix. It it's like something that I have never seen before. So all the characters, everything that you see is 3D animated. They're all 3D with, different, with very cool, well, everything pretty much. And that allows for amazingly smooth moves when you see the fight scenes, when you see the shooting scenes. That allows for extreme freedom where the camera, where the angle is, how they show you things. It's a huge upgrade from something like Castlevania that I also watched, the previous week, and I also did a review of that if you haven't seen it. So yeah, Castlevania is the exact opposite. It's very well drawn. It's 2D, but it also everything that moves with around 10 FPS, which is extremely annoying, at least for me. I mean, I get it as a visual style as well, of the way that the animation presents actually the characters, because when you see them move, you're like, oh yeah, that just makes me think of particular emotion, or I perceive the characters and what they're going through that 10 FPS animation now in a different way. It kind of emphasizes particular scenes and movements and how the characters feel. Let me just say, in the sex scenes was so damn awkward just because of those 10 FPS as well. It was even more cringy, because of that style. So I think that style really had its place before, but now it's just so dated that it's kind of hard for me to, get behind it. There was a lot of amazing cool stuff that, they try to show in Castlevania. There's also super amazing fights there, but when you see a move and done, let's say somebody tries to do that, and you see, you see the movement, the initiation of the movement, and then you see like it already ended. So I just don't like that. Where here is completely the opposite. It's super fluid. You can see everything. You can see every movement, every turning, and they even, make so many slow motion shots like these red guys. Those are ninjas, and they're just awesome. They're so precision, like precious. No, that's not the word. Well, they're very precise with their movements and how they are killing people. It has no censorship as well. You see all the blood that you can possibly see. People get cut in half, in pieces, and whatever you can think of. uh, I missed something in the comments. I'm gonna read what you guys are talking about. Just a sec. And yeah, and you're just like this, because especially if you watch it in full HD on a very big TV, that's very big, of course, a quality TV, you will be amazed. You will feel like you're watching 4K. So I love that. The other thing is that kind of on the side of, well, this is not that good, is the dialogue and the way it's synced with the lips, because this is made, I think, originally to be in Japanese. So how the lip syncing is done in Japanese, and when you see the English dub, which is very very good and it's very similar to the Japanese, I think, in the way that all the actors sound, but because of course English is very different, their mouths sometimes are like totally not synced, or just it does not look like the characters are saying what they're saying. Like for instance, the bad guy says, "This is the last time you disobey me," and his mouth in this moment is doing something like, ah, but you hear "disobey me," but his mouth is like, what? So yeah, something like that. That's not that. I mean, it's not that noticeable all the time, just in some particular moments. So basically, the story here is that our main guy, that's a badass, obviously, he has to protect this girl, and she's a tattoo artist that makes she's the only one for some reason that can create those amazing beautiful tattoos that all the yakuza leaders have to have. And if yakuza leaders rulership, yeah, if his leadership and at the time to be a leader ends, he has to really die. He has to sacrifice himself, and that is happening when the ritual is initiated and the tattoo is activated. The tattoo itself has some kind of a power and technology behind it. They actually did not explain that well at all, and I'm gonna get to that. And that, whatever that is, surges through the body, like the way you see here on the poster, goes to the neck, where is the stack, and basically makes like a power surge in it, and breaks it basically, fries it, you can say, and that leader dies. So the next leader can now rule. Uh, but all of that also was not explained well. So the movie starts with an action, starts with presenting the main characters. Then we're started to see how the story reveals and who's who and who's doing what and why. But all of that is also a problem because they're not explaining anything very well. Like anything. I don't know if you watch other animes, people like yell a lot or people just explain stuff, but they always explain stuff in the way that you are supposed to be already knowledgeable about the universe, or already knowledgeable about the yakuza, and well, everything that's in the world basically. It has some kind of a annoying annoying way to explain things, and I literally had to stop it, return it, listen to it again, stop it, return, and listen to what's happening again several times to just be sure of what's happening. And I still was not sure of what's happening. You know, some things did not make sense. I won't get into that, but about the tattoos, about that girl, how she does things, like nothing is really explained. Then about the great twist that happened in the end, the big baddie, you can say, how he was doing stuff, uh, all those things are just so confusing. Hey, Supreme Comics Girl, hi to you. Yeah, yes I am for a second time tonight, and my second review of tonight. Yeah. But I overall enjoyed it. I do think that this has potential if it's like told better. But in any case, I felt really damn confused. So it's entertaining, it's interesting, it's colorful, it's like mind-blowingly, sorry. Great animation. Yeah, nothing that you've ever seen before, I don't think. It's like a video game come to life, if there's a video game with that kind of style. I mean, some video games do have similar style to this, let's say Borderlands, but with a different paint job. But it needs to be told better, especially for people who are like new to altered. I always have very hard time to say this. Altered carbon. I don't even know why it's called that. I just can't connect it to the story. So I would say that as a animation, it's like, well, maybe 7 out of 10, because it did get me interested, but it was kind of a downer that I couldn't not be sure about half of the things that actually happened, or could not explain them very well. Oh yeah, well, I'm just gonna go back and read some of your comments now, since I pretty much did the review already. I would recommend for you guys to see it though, because like I've said, it's really really unique. If you like the TV show, you will probably like this, but unlike the first episode of the TV show, at least this is way more interesting and bearable the way it was done. But if you have to choose between this and Ghost in the Shell, Ghost in the Shell is much deeper. Okay, reading your comments. Yeah, definitely does not pack an emotional punch like Ghost. Well, Clayton, that's a huge compliment. I would like to bring something, to get your mind off the situation, for sure. Futuristic, grandiose metropolis. Yeah. There is that vibe though, like, how was that other movie? Not Ghost in the Shell, the other movie. The newer not Ghost Rider, with Ryan Gosling. Ah, damn it. How, what was that movie? You're going to tell me. I know, you're going to tell me. It was just on the tip of my tongue just now. Yeah, well, about the exposition, how some movie just can get you into the action and they explain along the way, but not annoyingly. They just are getting you into the story, uh, like slowly but surely, and same time you're understanding very quick who is who and what is what, but it's like natural. And here they're throwing you into the story, they're throwing a bit of the natural explanation at the beginning, and then they just start to do their own thing, Like you're already supposed to be at level 10 or 12 or whatever, but they started to incorporate you in everything, and you reach like level 3, and you're eager to find out more and to be more into this universe just to get the idea of how everything works and such. But they're already throwing you after the first few minutes on level 20, and you're like, what? I'm not ready for this. What happened? Yeah, that is how this is. And the TV show, the first episode is even worse. I mean, the live action TV show. There is just two people, let's say two people, talking about super serious stuff. And the main actor, that's supposed to be this guy, the same character, he's like, well, I'm going to do this and kill that guy, yeah. And he's like so invested into this, and he's like so motivated, and he's like such a badass. And the other guy's like, well, one is explaining, one is like evil. You know who that is. I mean, you don't know who that is, but he looks evil, so you're like, yeah, that guy's evil, but he's so serious. He's like, and you, as a viewer, feel as if, okay, um, I'm like confused, and why I'm supposed to be caring about that and this guy and this guy, because everybody on the screen look invested in what's going on, but you as a viewer, you are left sitting down and expected of you to be like already super into everything and know everything and like be invested emotionally in it, but you're not, because all that you see is just pictures with no context at all, like scenes, actors playing stuff. That's what you see, what you perceive. You don't perceive what you're supposed to perceive, what they want you so badly to perceive, but there's no way to do that because they did not earn this at all. I think I explained it right. That's the TV show, the live action TV show, and here is better, but it's still not great. Uh, okay, let's read your comments now because I got so carried out. But I think yeah, I did a review of the first episode of the live show. I actually remembered because the other day I got a copyright strike for that, and that was years, like 2 years ago. I got copyright strike from some company that I never heard before. I don't think even that it's any correct, because I think it was about the audio, and the audio is not even, I can't even hear it. So I disputed, of course. Now I expect to see any answer. Hope they remove the claim, but we'll see. Yeah, my eyeshadow is close to my eye color, yeah. Okay. Reading. Yeah, I also love Ghost in the Shell with Scarlett Johansson. The anime is way better in terms of how they explore the deeper topics, consciousness, the soul, all of that. It was better than in the anime, that's for sure. I mean, the movie didn't, yeah, sorry. The movie, basically did not go as far, did not dig as deep, but it still was a good movie for what it was. And Scarlett was great in that movie. Yeah, Blade Runner, that's what I meant. Blade Runner is also like, so on the top of things, not really going, under that much. I don't know why I'm doing this. But the first Blade Runner, I could barely, go through it. I know it is considered a classic, but I could barely watch it. It was very unwatchable for me, especially coming from a modern human and seeing this movie that is so old. And I mean, it's not about, being old. I mean, some movies are done in a way that they're totally can stand on their own today. They can be, relevant, and they can be a lot better than newer movies like Terminator 2 is, actually. For instance, it's done in a lot more engaging way, interesting way, and even the special effects revolutionary for the times. But there are just some other movies like Blade Runner, at least for me, in my personal opinion, of course, that could not engage me in any way, could not interest me in any way, and I felt a lot of ideas and how they were done. It was, I just like, I'm watching and I can't connect to this. I just can't, Um, so I couldn't be less interested. And when I saw that Ryan Gosling movie, I pretty much got, yeah, something similar, but I was a bit more interested, and especially I was a lot more interested in the way that they made one of the, actually the main actress, how they brought her back. Physically she looked the same because it was CGI that is, constructed her face on a woman that has particular face structure. It was so amazing to watch actually behind the scenes and how that is done more like the movie itself. So for all that movies, I mean all of those movies that are like cyberpunk genre, totally the best is of course Ghost in the Shell. Then is this for me. This is second place. And then it's Blade Runner because I can't think of anything else. Lip color, sorry. Um, it's just pink, I guess. I mean, I have several lipsticks and I just change them, sometimes mix them to create like different, like shades, the way that I'm doing my eyes, and sometimes similar to the way that I'm doing my lipstick. Like here's a bit lighter, here's a bit like more red, here's a bit, more dark, something like that. So I'm just experimenting basically. But there are like a few shades of pink, and some are more to the red side. I'm just using several lipsticks basically. The name is the best color. Well, Nikki is so funny. Um, thank you, Nikki. That's a great compliment. You just seen the movie. Well, you have to go and see the first original anime movie, Ghost in the Shell, because there's TV series and like there's so many things that things just got out of hand, and they're not the same quality. That's what I want to say. Just watch the first. The first is pretty enough. Okay. Yeah. Well, YouTube is not doing that. The company that does the claim is doing that. But it's a bummer because I also have a few videos that are claimed by companies that actually do not hold any rights to that content, like at all. For instance, if I do this doody doody do like something, and some company decides that that is their audio, which is not, they could just put a claim on it. They can disclaim it, and then they immediately see, oh gosh, it's a mistake, so they retract it because it's also illegal to put a invalid copyright claim. On the other hand, that is some cases. Other cases could be just literally movie companies that know that this is normal for me to do a trailer reaction, but they still decide to stick with the claim and they do not remove it. And then a month later, I do a reaction of another, new movie, a new trailer of the same company. They claim it again, and I dispute it again. They decide to release the claim and to basically admit that I was right. The next month, same thing happens. Again, they decide to, to not release the claim. So one time they release it, one time they're not releasing it, one time they say, yeah, you're right. Every time is different, and I just can't catch a break. I just can't. I mean, so many videos of mine were demonetized, and yeah, even I did trailer review of the new Picard TV show, Star Trek. That was blocked in all countries, and I went to dispute them. They said, nope, you're in the wrong, you're gonna block it in all countries. It was just a trailer reaction, something that people are doing for ages now. But they acted like I stole the whole show, put it on the internet for everybody to see. And I pirated the living hell out of that show, which I didn't. I only reacted to the trailer the same as I do every time when I cover a trailer, and it's completely into the fair use frame. It is. It's literally legally is. But they are like, nope. And then I decided to go further and dispute it, further. And they're like, well, if you continue, we're gonna take it to court. And I'm like, okay, I'm stopping with this. It's like obvious that I'm not going to have any agreement with these guys. They're absolutely ridiculous. They're living in the caveman ages. So I'm gonna drop it for the sake of my channel. But in general, those things are criminal. And if I could sue them all, I would. Because they freaking deserve it. They demonetized so many of my videos that I basically lost hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars through the years. That's for sure. That's just no comment about that. But anyway, I have talked about this so many times that I want to get into this. I just wanted to let you know, Supreme Comics girl, about what happened to me and what's happening to many other YouTubers nowadays. Not, I mean, it's getting like better, but it's still bad. Well, thank you. Yeah, I mix a lot of things. I mean, even on my eyes, I have 3 colors. Actually, it's 3. Here is, the pink. Then I have darker blue, more like a neon blue. And then I have here, if you can see here, I have like a very bright blue. It's almost white. And I have that also in the middle. So that's how I mix it a bit. Mm. Well, I could never get lost into the Blade Runner story, that's for sure. Yeah, well, some strikes are automatic and some strikes are hand picked, yeah, done by a person. So if they're done by a person, that's not very good, and most of those are gonna be lost, unfortunately. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Clayton. You know what's funny about my makeup? I mean, it's not funny, but because I have another channel with Superheroes Bulgaria, all the Bulgarian channel that I have with the guys. We are Superheroes Bulgaria, and because we're talking in Bulgarian, a Russian guy basically decided to watch because Russians can kind of understand what we are saying, and we kind of can understand what they are saying. It's not the same language at all, but it has like mutual roots, like ancient mutual roots. They're both Slavic languages, so we can kinda understand each other. And he decided basically to watch, and he also decided to write in the comments, um, like something. It went like next time without the makeup or something like this, and I was like, as if, like, go to wherever you came from. No. Oh, it's so fun. I guess some people just think that this is a lot of makeup. Actually, it's not a lot in terms of quantity at all. Just a few, eyeliners and the eyeshadow, and that's not a lot. A lot is just Kim Kardashian with 500 types of layers upon layers upon layers, shadows and other stuff, then lipstick, and then the eyeshadows, and then the eyeliner. That's a lot of makeup. And then I don't even have a mascara. So People don't know what is a lot of makeup. They just see colorful makeup, they think that's a ton. Yeah, of course I'm gonna do what I want. I mean, I have my own style, you know. Yeah, exactly. It's my style, it's me, it's yeah. You know me, guys. You understand me, so I don't need to, understand. I mean, to explain that to you, of course. Well, guys, that's gonna be about this live review of, Altered Carbon, the hardest title ever to say. Yeah, Ivy, absolutely, you're right. You're right. And I really want to finish with Adam's Family because that's very interesting to me. Well, that's amazing saying. Yeah, why blend in when you were born to stand out? It's amazing saying. Absolutely amazing. I love it. I would put that on a t-shirt actually. Amazing, amazing. Yeah. I always, think that we all have to contribute to the world and to ourselves with all the qualities that make us unique. So I will always, urge you to be yourself and just make the best version of yourself because that way you can be most useful to yourself, to others, and discover a lot more than you thought that you had, probably. You always have more than you think. When the helmet of the Gerayan Jarl is put on, then the spear is thrown, and the chariots of war roar. Amazing rhymes. I thought that I stopped that night bot. I have to see how to remove it. I did remove one bot. Yeah, that's a great idea. We should English. We should sell. Yeah, we should. We definitely should. Talking about selling stuff, I totally forgot about my t-shirt shop. I just really neglected that. I have to check what I have. I mean, I have to make some new designs. I think, yeah, just to update it, like it needs an update. But that's another topic. Yeah, he died a hero. So yeah, guys, going for now. I will let you know if, well, it's 10. I really have to work out, but um, I'm just gonna say I have plans. I really have plans for some more videos very soon. So stay tuned. Hopefully for tomorrow. Sleep well. Have a great Friday. Until next time with me, Irichi Reviews. Yes, good night and thank you.